Hello everybody, welcome to Fancy Fold Friday. Who else is excited as I am that it's the weekend finally? It's been one of those weeks at work. Anyway, tonight we are going to make this super cute little card using the Snowman season stamp set. So I'll just show you the stamp set here before we get going. So this is it here. You've got some cute little snowmen all over, and this snowman actually coordinates with a punch that we have. And this is actually a returning favorite from last year. It is definitely one of my favorites from last year, so I was glad it came back. So this little card we're gonna make, it's called a double easel card, and that's how it kind of looks once it's made. Okay. So we'll just dive right into it, okay? So you're going to want to start with your base for your card. This one measures 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches, and I've scored it at 5 1/2 inches on the long side. So, and then I'm just going to fold it in half, and I'm going to take my bone folder and burnish the edge. And then we'll set that one aside for now. Next, you're going to want a piece of Whisper white cardstock. Oh, hi Gail, thanks for watching. So this is Whisper white thick cardstock. You could use regular cardstock, but I've just chosen to use the thick cardstock that we have just to beef up my card a little bit. This piece measures 4 inches by 10 1/2 inches. And then on the long side, it is scored at 5 1/4 and 7 7/8 inch, okay? And what you're gonna do is you're gonna fold it in half at the 5 1/4 score line and burnish it with your bone folder. And then you're gonna fold the other score line outward, or kind of towards the other score line you just folded. So you kind of get something that looks like that, okay? And we'll set that aside for now. And then you're gonna want 2 pieces of designer series paper. So this is a piece that I've chosen, and it's actually from our Snowflake Splendor designer series paper. So just to kind of give you an idea what it looks like here. As you can see, I've used this a lot because if you love it, cut it. So that's what I've done here, and I've picked one of my favorites. So this is the one I've picked here. It's kind of got some pool party colors in it, which is why I went with the pool party cardstock. So this first piece of DSP, it measures 3 7/8 inch by 5 1/8 inch. And the second piece you're going to want measures 3 7/8 inch by 2 1/2 inches. And now we're going to assemble a little bit. So you're going to take your piece of Whisper white cardstock and your bigger piece of DSP, and you're going to adhere it right there, okay? And I'm just going to use, I have some snail. This is retired now, but I have some left, so I'm going to use it up. And we'll glue it down here. Just like so. And then this little piece doesn't go in the middle panel, but it goes on this bottom panel. And again, I'm just going to use some of my snail. If you notice how noisy this is when I use it, our new tape runner is actually very, very quiet. I don't have one yet just because I have so much snail, but when I get one, I am not going to miss that sound. All right, so you just fold it back like this, and now we're going to attach this to our card base. So this is the front of our card, and it's just going to go on just like this so that your fold is at the bottom. And for this, I'm going to use some tear and tape adhesive just because it's a little sturdier than some of our other adhesives. Hi, Carolyn. Thanks for watching. And sorry, I'm going to use a lot of it because I want to make sure that this really works. I'm sorry if my camera is shaking. Just going to peel this off. And just for anybody who watches the video, if you place an order with me by the end of the month, I'll include this little card kit for free. I'll send it out to you. And if you do place an order this month, make sure you use my hostess code, HX9AHXNW. I'll make sure I post that on my page. And I'm just going to glue this down just like that. So there you go. You basically got your card. So now we're just going to decorate it. So for this little guy on the front here, I've cut a piece of Whisper White cardstock. This measures 2 inches by 3 1/8 inch. And then I got my Stitch So Sweetly dies, and I pulled out this die here, and I cut a piece of Pool Party cardstock using this die. This die measures roughly 2.5 inches by 3 5/8 inch. So you know which die I'm using if you have this set. If you don't have this set, then you have the measurements where you can cut your own piece of coordinating cardstock. Okay, so what I'm going to do first, I'm going to stamp on this side. So I'm going to get I've got my little snowman ready on my block here. Oop. And I'm just going to grab some Memento ink. And I'll stamp him onto my Whisper White cardstock. Right about there, I think, is where I want him. Set that aside. I'm just gonna put the lid on this before I put my card in it because I put this card in it. I don't know if you could see on the edge here, there's a little bit of black. Yeah, I did that. Always put the lid on your ink. Even those of us that stamp all the time will put their cards in our open ink if it's open. Okay, so now I'm going to color this little guy, and a lot of people ask me how I use our Stampin' blend, so I'll actually show you in this video how I use it. So what I've got here, this is Dark Smoky Slate, and I've got Light Pool Party and Dark Pool Party, and then I've got Dark Petal Pink, and I have Light Pumpkin Pie. So I'm just going to start with our Light Pool Party. And I'm just going to highlight some shadows on our little snowman. Because to me, I always feel like snow is a little blue in color. So I'm just going to kind of pick 2 sides of my little snowballs and color them in. Just to give him some shadow, to make it look like he's just not some flat stamped image. And I'm also going to put the same coloring along the bottom shadow. Just like so. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, so I'm done with the Light Pool Party. And I'll use the dark one. And I'm going to color his hat and his stripes. Same thing on his scarf. Like so. And then the stripes on the other alternating stripes, I'm going to use the Dark Smoky Slate. I love our blends. They're so easy to color with. Okay. And then I'm going to use Light Pumpkin Pie just to color in his little carrot nose. And I went with the lighter colors because I wanted this card to be soft. So I didn't go with anything dark because I didn't want it to be too bold. I am going to use the Dark Petal Pink because it's very soft, just to color in his little cheek there. So he's blushing. Okay, and now I'm just going to attach this to my Stitch So Sweetly die cut piece out of Pool Party. So again, I'm just going to use some of my snail. Carolyn, I love the Snowman set too. I was so happy it came back. He's so cute. There's so many options. Alright, so that piece is done. So to attach it to my card, I'm just going to attach it in the bottom left-hand corner. And I'm going to use some of our dimensionals to do that. So I'll just get them out here. Make sure I'm putting them on the bottom. So I'll kind of do 2 at the bottom and 1 middle toward the bottom-ish. Just like so. And I'll pop them on the front of my card. Okay, and now I just need some sort of greeting. So I'm just going to get a scrap piece of Whisper White cardstock. And from the stamp set, I'm going to get this little saying that says, "Let it snow." And I get my Pool Party. This is Pool Party ink pad. And ink it up. And I've noticed with Pool Party, you ink it up and it doesn't really look like there's anything on there, but then when you put it on the paper, it looks just fine. So I'll put it right about there. See how it shows up nice? So it's like the ink doesn't show on the stamp itself, but it shows when you put it on the paper. Now I'm going to get my 1.5 inch punch, and I'm just going to punch out our little saying. And set that aside in my scrap piece of paper aside because I don't need that anymore. And I'm going to get 1 dimensional just on the back here. And pop it up in the top right hand corner. And just to add a little something extra to it, we've got some of our adhesive back snowflakes, and I'm just gonna attach some to my card using my Take Your Pick tool. This tool's handy for picking up tiny little things like this. I'll do about 3. I always do the rule of odd numbers, so I either do 3, 5, or 7, and I think I'm gonna do 3 on this one. Just like that. And I kind of showed you the inside of the card, so we're going to do some stamping on the inside as well. So we're going to need another piece of Whisper White cardstock. This one measures 4 1/8 inch by 5 3/8 inch. And I'm going to start by stamping some snowflakes. And I'm going to do some in each corner. And I'm stamping before I adhere this to my card so that if I make a mistake, I can just flip over and start over again without wasting a whole piece of paper. Because I have done that before. We'll do one here. Okay. And then I just have to get another stamp out of here. So there's a cute little greeting in here. It says, "Hoping this season builds heartwarming memories." So I'm just going to put that on my clear block. I'm going to ink it up in my Pool Party again. Sorry if I shake the camera. And stamp right about there. Satisfied with that. There we go. Put my ink away before I put my card in it again. And I'm just going to put some snail on the back of this piece. And then toss it on the inside of my card. Now I don't always put a greeting on the inside of the card because I like to leave a lot of space for personal messages, but I thought that this one looked cute with the stamped greeting. So there we go, there's our card. How cute and simple is that? I will make sure within the next couple of days here to put the measurements up on my blog, so make sure if you haven't subscribed that you do, because then you'll get a notification once the post is up. And yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching my little Fancy Fold Friday video, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. We will see you on Tuesday for Technique Tuesday. Have a good night.